y'all having a great week. I just want to talk a little bit, man. Hope y'all can hear me. I got a mic on the way. We start doing more talk through on my workout videos, and also more videos like this. But like I said, the win and stuff like that. So I have to like talk into the mic and stuff like that. So got a mic on the way. It's a good mic, so it should work. But I just want to talk about why you must have a why. You must have a why out here, because every time when you put yourself first or your feelings first, it never works, man. It never works. It never works. And your why will keep you grounded and rooted, and it'll remind you why you started. That's the reason why you have to have a why. And your why could be anything. It could be, I don't know, financial freedom. It could be you want to have kids, I don't know. It could be anything. But you have to find your why, because life is going to throw stuff at you. That's his job. It's to knock you off your pedestal. Now, if God got something for you and you let obstacles get in your way and you quit, your why wasn't deep enough. It wasn't deep enough. It has to work. It has to work. That's the difference between it has to work. I'm just trying. I don't know. And I've seen people like that, and I've been like that. I took the easy road, when I first started this thing. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna try it out. And then I end up starting over or taking a long break, and I don't feel like it no more. But if your why is deep enough, man, there's no breaks. Like, you always gonna hold yourself accountable, even when no one is looking. And that's why you have to have a why. And your why has to be bigger than you. If it's not bigger than you, then you're gonna choose yourself every time, man. When like my mom said, when the water get lukewarm, you gonna run, you gonna quit. Oh man, I'm going home. I'm tired. I don't feel like being out here no more. I'm isolated from my family. And if your why not big enough, man, you're gonna take off when the water get lukewarm. Lukewarm, that's like what, 60 degrees, 70 degrees? That's not even hot. Hot is 100 degrees. You know what I mean? And when I say water, lukewarm, using those examples, I'm talking about life. When life get hard, bro, and when life get really hard, that's hot, bro. Like, but you gotta stay in the kitchen. You gotta get there, man. You gotta stay there, and your why will keep you there if you got one strong enough. So it's very important to have that why, man, because your feelings are, it's just emotions. That's it, man. Like, I be reading books, and so I read a book called Don't Believe Everything You Think. I already told y'all about that one. Then I read another one. I'm reading another one now. I think it's called Control Your Emotion, or Master Your Emotions is what it's called. And in the book, it just says like he talk about depression, he talk about sadness, he talk about anxiety, he talk about jealousy, resentment. He talk about all of those things, and all of those things are emotions. Think about that. Emotions. That's all it is, bro. It's gonna pass. That's my whole point of saying that. It's gonna pass. So if you quit the race because you're emotional right now, how you gonna feel in 10 years, 20 years, when you gotta tell your kids that I quit because I was sad that day, or because I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, quote unquote? Like, come on, man. We have to stop being emotional when it comes to the process. And bro, I'm not perfect. Look, I'm emotional. Ever since I got married, man, I've been emotional, and it's hard to shake back. But I know that the only way to get unemotional is to stay in the kitchen. You got to stay where the heat is. You have to thrust yourself out into the world, man. You gotta survive. You gotta stop taking the easy road, not waking up on time, not dumping into the 10-degree ice bucket, not working out, having some type of diet. Don't eat pizza every day just because it tastes good. You gotta like give yourself, you gotta fast from everything, man, because your body will assume like, oh, this is the only way, so I'm gonna keep eating pizza, I'm gonna keep watching this episode, I'm gonna keep watching Netflix. No, make yourself put the phone down. I know it's hard, man, and I fail, because I have my phone on my face editing, then I be looking at it again on Facebook trying to post, and then I get lost in the feed, and then my mind like, all right, you've been on the phone for the last 22 minutes. Put it down, then. Put it down. Read a book, man, because your mind will always adjust to what it wants to adjust to, but you have to, as your body and soul, have to make sure that you are fasting and being conscious of what you are consuming. That's life. That's life. That's life. And your why will keep you at work. Your why will keep your job, because guess what? We all don't want to be on W-2, especially this day and time. Like everything is, oh, quit your job. Quit your job. Don't be work your W-2 is a sin, and you know. But don't believe that mess, man. Your W-2. Now this is one thing that I agree with Gordon Ramsay. He said your W-2 is your first wealth building tool. Now that's the only thing that I like literally that I now that's the only thing that I agree on with Gordon Ramsay. That's the only thing. He said your W-2 is your first wealth building tool. Okay. So I didn't really understand at the time, but with your W-2, you can get loans. You can, of course, save. I mean, I say save your money, but get your funds together. Use your funds to create, to clean up your credit. And with your credit, you go to the bank, you get money. Then from the bank, you go buy assets. So when I closed my second deal, that's how I done that. I work in the oil and gas industry, as you guys already know, and my credit always been cool. My mom and dad, they always kept my credit right. And got a credit card when I was like, 14, 15. And I always, when I swiped it for gas and groceries, I always paid it back off, I never knew, you know what I mean? I always thought credit was for buying cars and getting stuff on credit. But your credit is to buy real estate, you know what I mean? It's to buy real estate. And our perception of money is different from other people. And as you read and dig into this thing, man, it gets real deep. It gets real deep. It gets real deep about how money works and economics and why you can go to the bank and get $200K in 90 days versus working 25 years to save $100,000. Something ain't right there, man. And that right there is what made my mind start turning. Like, why do I gotta work 30 years to save $100,000 when I can go to the bank and get $200,000 in 90 days? Man, y'all, am I the only one that think that way, bro? Like, when I figured out that answer, I couldn't sleep at night. When I figured out that answer, I could not sleep at night. And that's another subject for another video. But this video is why you should have a why. You must have a why. You must have a why. Because today you might feel like it. Like right now, I feel good. I feel motivated to do a video. I feel motivated to go to the gym after this video. I feel motivated to go to work tonight. I feel motivated to boom, boom, boom. But motivation is fake, man. It's an emotion. Motivation is an emotion. If I had another phone, I'd Google these words and get you an exact definition of what these words mean. But motivation is fake. It's fake. It's fake. Now, when I first started this fitness thing, man, I thought it was all about motivation. And E.T., Eric Thomas, C.T. Fletcher, all the big dogs that scream in the mic, and bro, that's what got me into the gym and self-development. But what I quickly realized, maybe when the new wore off, just like you buy a new car, when the new wears off, now what? Now what, bro? Now what? Ain't no motivation now. Now what? Now what you gonna do now? You gonna quit now? You gonna quit now? So motivation is fake, first of all. It's just an emotion. So with the motivation, man, be careful, because I fell into a pit. I'm sure something personal with y'all. I fell into a pit when I first realized that motivation is more of a add-on. It's not the base ingredient. You know what I mean? It's not the base ingredient. The base ingredient, I'm gonna get to the base ingredient later, but when I found out motivation was not the base ingredient, and I was relying all of my feelings and emotions and feeling good on motivation, I'm like, man, why do I feel sad? Why do I feel like I don't want to do it no more? Do I not want to do this no more? Do I not want success anymore? Do I not want to be fit anymore? Because I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't motivated to do it. But then when I got to reading and asking God to show me, it's not about your motivation, man. Motivation is a feeling, it's an emotion. The main ingredient that has to be in the bottom of the pot every time is discipline. Now, like I said, if I had another phone or a way to look up the word discipline, at the end of the day, it means doing it even if you don't feel like it. So it's routine, because you have to be there, because this is what you say you're going to do, and you do it. That's what discipline is. And that's the difference between discipline and motivation. Oh, the wind is blowing. Hope y'all can still hear me. Like I said, I'm gonna get a mic, so but motivation, that was the first lesson for me when it came to self-development. Was motivation, was faith, it's self-discipline. So you must have your why, and you have to lock in. Now your why might change over the years. Mine has changed over the years, and sometimes my why wasn't strong enough. I had to adjust. I had to make it harder. I had to make it more personal. But when I done that, man, I locked in, bro. I locked in. I've been locked in for the last true years, probably the last 4 years. I would say the last 4 years I've been locked in. 2 years before I got this job, I was locked in, bro. 2 years before I got this job, I've been locked in ever since. And it's war, bro. Like, I wouldn't say literally, but figuratively, it's war. Because your mind want to give up, man. Your mind want to... And you know that you're in a great position in your body and soul. You know you're in a great position to make a better living for your family, a better way for life, for your future kids or whatever. But your mind want to tell you, bro, let's go home, man. Ain't you tired? That's your mind telling you that. Your mind, and you must control your mind. Because it's always gonna put those thoughts are always it's gonna come up. And your why have to keep you grounded and rooted. It has to. That's the only way you're gonna survive. And of course, Jesus Christ, of course. But in human form, you have to have your why, or why you started. But you have to be willing to go to war with yourself. You have to figure yourself out. Like, what are my weaknesses? Like, what can I not be around to throw me off? Because there's things that we're all liable to fail at any given moment. Any given moment. If you're around the wrong thing. Like, I don't know, smoking. I don't know, some people have to smoke, some people have to drink. Maybe it's too much TV. Maybe it's too much food. You know what I mean? And first you have to go to war with yourself, and you have to figure out, what's my weakness? What can knock me off my block? Now, yours is different from mine. Mine is different from yours. But we all have one, and you have to figure that out. And a lot of people do not want to figure that out, because that's their go-to. That's their comfortable place. You know, you got people that say, oh, when I get depressed, I eat. Okay. I'm not sure why, but that's a lot of people. And at that point, you got to dig deep. You have to learn how to channel that energy into something healthier, to read a book, to inspiring, you know, sharing your story of how you get locked in. You know what I mean? So you gotta be ready to go to war with yourself. But it's gonna be war, man. It's gonna be war, because when you start channeling your mind and really like waking up, like your natural habits want to come back, and now you battling. Like, man, I know I don't need to be doing this, but man, it feels so good, and boom, whatever, it make me feel, and it make me feel good, and now you battling this, battling that, but you're still trying to self-develop and trying to develop this and develop that, and then, bro, but the only way through that is your why, in Christ. You know, because he'll renew your mind only when you seek it though. He's not gonna. I mean, you know, for me, your mind. It starts in your mind, man. It starts in your mind. It starts in your mind, and you have to be ready to be renewed, because we all fall off. Like I said, I went on vacation, man. I did not want to come back. I did not want to come back. Oh man. Had a good time with my family. Man, like I couldn't see my way. Like I couldn't see myself going back here to work 14 hours and how much energy that takes. And oh man, I couldn't, bro. I took 2 weeks off. I took 20 days. I took 18 days off. 18 days. And then when it was time to come back, bro, I called in an extra day. I'm just gonna be transparent. I called in an extra day thinking that's gonna reset me. No, it's not gonna reset you. It's not gonna reset you. It's not gonna reset you. What you gotta do, you gotta go back out into the fire, man. That's the only way that's the only way your mind is gonna be reset, is you gotta go back out into the fire, bro. You ain't been in the fire in 20 days. So of course it looked hot. Of course it looked tiresome. But bro, remember your why. Why we here? We here to get this money. We here to invest. We here to share our story. We here to spread the word of God and how He shined through me to be a better person, to turn the other cheek, to love your neighbor. That's the purpose. It's not about you. You don't want to go back to work. It's not about you, man. Go to work, bro. Get back into the fire. And that's what helped me, like, getting back into it. I'm still not 100% there, but I have a start. You know what I mean? And I'm starting to read. Last night I had a breakthrough. I was reading in the book to where the reason why you don't want to go back. How was this put? The reason why you feel the way you feel is because of your ego. Think about it. The reason why people are depressed and sad because they're trying to uphold a character that their body no longer want to uphold anymore. Think about it. That's why motivation is more of a feeling. That's why motivation is more of a feeling. It's no longer, your body don't want to hold up this character anymore. That's why people get depressed. That's why people get sad. And like me in my natural state, this is what I love to do. I love to talk and inspire. Now, I'm not an ET. I'm not nobody like that. Now, I mean, I don't know what God got for me in 10 years. Maybe I will be on stage. But for me, it's just talking to people that I can reach out to, and, you know, the positive comments, the working out. And for me, that's what the gym does for me, man. It's like when you have that 315 pounds on your back, you gotta squat it. Now and that remind me of life. Like, so when I got that 315 on my back, I'm walking out, knowing I gotta squat it, but you feel the trembleness in your legs and your stomach, and like, man, can I do this? Can I do this? And that reminds me of life, when stuff happens, and you chasing your dreams and goals, and somebody stick their foot out and try to trip you. And you got to get back up, brush yourself off if you bought a bad deal or investment, it's not planning out. And you get to second guess yourself. Can I do this? This is the gym for me. That's the way I measure the gym in life. Can I do this? But then when that 315 on your back and you have to go, you just gotta go. I don't know, some people take a deep breath. I take a deep breath before I squat. But as you going down, bro, you going through the process of life. Like, man, this is tough. You recruiting muscle fibers. You toning in. You embracing your core, everything. But then, you know, when you're going down,